Hey there, John Nesbitt with the Customer Factory, and I'm going to ask you the proverbial chicken or the egg question of marketing. The chicken or the egg, right? Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Which comes first, a big marketing budget or the big practice? Right? You'll see big practices have big marketing budgets. So do they have a big marketing budget because they're a big practice, or are they a big practice because they ultimately had a large marketing budget? And it's kind of obvious when you phrase it that way what it is. Big practices, big operations, big companies are big and stay big because they have large investments in marketing. And I use the word investment because marketing is an investment. It's not an expense. An expense is something which you pay an expense, you don't have the money anymore. It's gone. An investment is you put money into something and you're hoping to get more money back out of it. That's marketing. Actually, I would actually make a case to say that marketing is the best investment you can make, because I don't know any stock that you could put $1 into and get $10 back on and then do that 5 times a month, right? If you're paying for marketing that's getting you new patients in your door, that's basically what you're doing. You're spending this money. You spend, for our clients right now, it costs about $40 to get a new patient to schedule with you. So you pay $40, you get a new patient, you make $400 out of that guy 3 days later, or maybe $4,000 out of that guy 3 days later, and you put that money back into it and you're investing it that way. Anyway, I could do a whole thing. I'm not going to give you, this is not investment advice because I'm not anybody of any importance when it comes to investing, but you get the idea that it's a really good investment. But the chicken and egg is, you want to be sure that you know that marketing comes before the growth. Marketing comes before success. Some people say, well, I would do more of that. I would advertise more, but I don't have the money. Well, how are you going to get the money if you don't advertise? Like, really? Come on, think about this. Does that mean you'll never get, so I'm sure you that every company that ever started with zero money. They started somehow, maybe they had investment or something like that, but they started at zero somewhere and they invested in growing and they grew. So even the biggest company around once upon a time had to invest, didn't have the money to advertise, and they somehow found it. And the trick is, find it. You have to bootstrap your way up. Now, it doesn't mean you go out and you max out all the credit cards and cash in the 401k, although I know people who've done that. Actually, I know someone who had a large company, and they were facing very hard times, and they had payroll was $35,000 the next week, and they took the $35,000 from payroll and they used it for marketing instead of making payroll, and they made payroll plus more with that marketing that came in, and they went on to be successful. They're still in business now. It's like 30 years worth of that, right? So anyway, so marketing is an investment. Advertising is an investment, and you should hold it to the same standard that it pay off. But you also should know that you've got to make the investment before you can make the profit. Like, you don't go, well, I'd invest in the stock market, but I don't have any money to invest in the stock market, so I can't invest in the stock market. Well, find a little money to put into the investment and get a little more money back and a little more money in, more money out. If you have to bootstrap your marketing that way, do it that way. That way, you're building up slowly and you're investing and getting money back. Now you think, well, what if I invest and I don't get the money back? Yeah, that sucks. So you want to be very careful. The less money you have to spend, the more careful you have to do, the more sure thing you need to do, right? There are some sure things in marketing. I mean, I'll give you an idea. Straight up, if you don't have a giant sign in front of your practice, you need to spend the money on the sign. That is the best marketing money possible to spend that I've ever seen. It's usually a one-time expense, and it works for years and years and years. And I know practices that survive off of their sign. They get 2 or 3 walk-ins a day just off the sign and the traffic that goes by, right? So a good location, a nice sign, that can be all you need to at least stay in business. It's amazing, right? Okay, you got that covered. Find other things that work, that you know work. Ask your colleagues what's worked for them who sell the exact same thing. We've got a marketing program that we give. It's not, you can never say marketing's a sure thing, but we're pretty confident that you spend the right money with marketing with us, you're going to get that result. Okay, but you have to kind of sometimes people aren't ready for our program. Our program costs, it's $2,000 a month. It's like $4,000 a month to run this program, right? It works really well, but if you don't have the $4,000 a month, it might as well be $1 billion. So you might have to bootstrap your way up there to that, okay? So anyway, my point being, the chicken and the egg is you gotta be, I don't know, the chicken first, right? I don't know how the actual chicken and egg thing works out, but I will tell you this, in marketing, you gotta be willing to take that little bit of risk and make that investment. You're gonna make an investment, investments in real life, a regular investment, it might blow, it might just not work, right? But you've got to make investments that repay back, and you kind of bootstrap your way up that way. So you use the win from the last investment to pay for the next investment and plus a little bit more. And that's how you grow. And eventually you kind of spiral your way all the way up to the top where you want to be in your marketing goals. And that's what my company is here to do. That's all we do is help people. We set up marketing programs that help people make their prosperity goals, their practice growth and prosperity goals. Like, where are you now? Where do you want to go? And how aggressive do you want to be? So if you want to get, double the size of your business, well, good. There's a marketing program that'll get you there. You got to be very aggressive about it, but we'll show you. You do this, you do this, you do this. Here's how the numbers work. It works this way. And then we watch it every single day as we work with you, as we make each milestone, as we get closer and closer and closer. That's our job, to make sure your marketing is supplying you with what you need to grow the rest of the business. Because you got, you start growing, you want to double your practice, you're going to have 100 other problems besides marketing. You know that, I know that. And it's my job to make sure the marketing is our problem and that it's not a problem. And that's what we do here. So if you're interested in maybe hearing about our program and see if it's the right fit for you, go over to thecustomerfactory.net, thecustomerfactory.net. That's my website. And there's a little scheduled demonstration button somewhere on that site. We're always redesigning the site, so I can't tell you where it is, but somewhere on that site, look for it. It's like an Easter egg. All right, schedule a demonstration with this, and we'll show you our program, and we'll show you how we can design it to get you from where you are now. Even if you're bootstrapping your way up, we can show you to bootstrap, and get there ultimately to where you can actually be successful. And then you can be the big chicken with the big egg. How's that for a finish on this? Anyway, thanks for watching this video. And if you're on the podcast, thanks for listening to the podcast. And I will talk to you next time. Take care.